Hey, good morning, good morning. How is everyone this morning? Let me just see if I am live yet. I'll just hang on for a minute. Let me know that you're here. Say hello. Okay. I am not always good with the beginning of this because I never can find myself. There we go. All right. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am at Bel Air, Maryland at Denise's. If you hear bubbling in the background, it's Denise's fish tank. She has all kinds of fishies over there. So, good morning. Let me know if you're here. I appreciate you coming in today to talk to me. I'll tell you, like I said, I'm here in Bel Air, Maryland. I am doing readings. We did a group reading last night, and we've got some readings going on today, and we're meeting with some people about some gallery events that were coming up that we're planning for this year. All kinds of great things that are coming up. We do have the women's retreat that we've locked in for Bethany Beach, and the information will be up very soon about that. So let me know if you're on. I see a few people are watching, but if you could comment, that would be great. Up until about 10 minutes ago, I got to tell you, I didn't know if I was going to go live or not. Because, you know, there's been a certain statement that's been rolling around in my head for the past couple days. And I really wanted to talk about it in Tuesday Talks, but I didn't know exactly what to say. So last night after the reading, I went to bed kind of early for me. And I thought, all right, I'm going to sit and I'm going to think about this. I'm going to meditate about it, and I'm going to write about it. Well, I ended up falling asleep. Sorry. Which is unusual for me. So then this morning, set my alarm, got up early this morning, was rolling around, praying about it, meditating about it, and I thought, I'm just going to do a repeat. I'm just going to repeat an old episode because I truly wanted to give you all something to really think about. And then the more I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go and I'm just going to talk. Usually I have pages and pages of notes that I refer to. This is what I have today. So hang with me. We're going to give it a shot. It might be a short one today. Who knows? But lately, I've had this quote, it wasn't a quote, but it was a statement that said, meet her where she's at. And I did a reading, I don't know if it was last week or the week before. I did a reading for someone a couple weeks ago. And the client's mother is still earthbound, but the father is in spirit. And the client was really struggling with what was going on. Hello, good morning. With what was going on with their mom. Their mom's dealing with dementia. So in essence, she's dealing with dementia too. And I asked her at the end of the reading, is there anything else that I can give to you, that I can offer you, that I have not? And she said, can you just ask my dad what to do about my mom? So I just kind of sat there for a minute, and I didn't know what the circumstances of mom was. And dad came through and said, meet her where she's at. So when I gave that message to the daughter, she was like, okay. And I had asked her if mom had some cognitive issues, and she said yes. And so it's interesting how Spirit tells his daughter, meet your mom where she's at, emotion-wise, brain-wise, health-wise. And I thought to myself, you know, that's a good way to look at a lot of things. And the more I thought about that statement, the more it like had all this stuff coming up in my head. So I feel, you think about when you meet somebody, you have plans with friends and you're going to meet them in a restaurant. I've been having problems with my glasses, sorry. And you're going to meet them at the restaurant. You have a destination, you have a time that you're going to meet. And the only expectations of going to the restaurant is to meet with your friends, have casual conversations, and eat good food. You're meeting them where they're at. You're meeting at the restaurant. No expectations. So when you think about that, and then I think to myself, I need to meet myself where I am. Well, what if I don't know where I am? What if I'm feeling lost and confused? It's learning to navigate emotional responses with yourself and with others. So meet me where I'm at. Meet me where I am. So let's say I have to start all over and I'm starting from scratch and I have to begin my life over because of a certain situation. I could dwell on what I had and what I lost and get myself all twirled up in that. Or I could say, here's where I'm starting. This is the start line. This is not the finish line. This is the start line. I want to take note of where I am in my life. And when I was listening to a podcast yesterday on my way to Bel Air, the one, I don't even know what podcast I was listening to. I listened to several. But the one person was saying, you have to take note that there's more good stuff about yourself than bad stuff. But we tend to dwell on the bad stuff. So if you are emotionally navigating a starting point and you want to meet yourself where you are, wouldn't it make sense to think about all the blessings that I have and start there? How am I feeling? Looking at myself without judgment. It's self-acceptance, compassion, meditation. And I thought to myself, and I do a lot of thinking. I do this deep thinking. And my poor husband, sometimes he's like, you're awful quiet. What are you thinking about? And I'm like, oh, I'm not. And sometimes I'm thinking about certain sentences or certain things that came up. And Spirit was so gentle in saying, meet her where she is. And to me that meant, if Mom goes on a tangent and calls you another name or says, where's Susie and you're Susie, you know what? Susie's coming soon. Let's talk about Susie. What are some good things about Susie? And have these conversations. Like I said, I'm going to jump all over the place because I really don't have any notes. So let's see how good I can improvise. So when I was thinking about this, there are so many times in my life that there's things that are going on with me that I don't even know what it is. Years ago, and I'm talking 35, 40 years ago, and I went to a therapist about a situation after my husband and I had split up. And I remember the therapist saying, how are you feeling? And I'm like, I don't even really know. I guess I'm numb. Well, what are you going to do? I don't really know. I had to figure out where I was. And she gave me this whole list of emotions because I couldn't seem to put a name on the emotion. I couldn't meet myself where I was. Until one day I'm like, what, I'm angry and I'm sad and I'm frustrated, but I was also excited about the new life that I had. And I thought about all the things that were taken away from me. But then I had to think about all the things that I had, the blessings of my children that I had, and starting over, and then I had this good job, and I had a support system. So I had to really take a look at myself without judgment. Well, how do you do that? Seriously, how do you look at yourself without judgment? Because we're so programmed into critiquing who we are, and to what we've lost and to what we should have, that we forget about the blessings that we do have. So it's starting at your starting point. I'm right here. It's meeting myself where I am. Okay, so here's my expectations of where I want to be, and here's how I'm going to get there. No judgment. Prayer. Meditation. If you need to rest, rest. If you need to journal, which I always say journal, journal. But it is not self-critiquing yourself to the point where you've deflated yourself and you don't think you're worthy of anything. So when I think about meeting someone else where they are, and whether there is illness or whether there has just been a death, whether there's been a job change, if I am that person's support person, I am listening and understanding about their difficult time. I'm not going, well, this is what you should do, or you should. I remember, and I've told this story a couple times, when my mom was sick. She got sick in April and she passed in June. I worked at this corporation, won't say the corporation, but I had a manager that was less than a good manager. And I had worked for several sales places and different corporations, and there are lots of good managers out there and there's lots of bad managers out there. And when my mom got sick, and this was before she passed, I was in and out of work most of April. Mom was diagnosed with lung cancer. She had to go to appointments. And I had the conversation with my manager about this, that I was going to do it. So, at the end of April, I didn't hit my sales goal. And at the beginning of May, she said to me, I understand what happened, but that was last month. And you just need to get over it, and I need you to hit your numbers this month. She did not meet me where I was. Now, granted, it was a corporation, it's business, but I just kind of said to her, you realize that my mother's dying. If you think I'm going to work harder for you than spending time with my mom, you might as well fire me right now. She did not meet me. Oh, hi guys. She did not meet me where I was. And it really caused a lot of anxiety within myself. Bella just walked in. So it's being present and understanding and accepting that there's different stages going on. It's not always easy. Sometimes it's just listening, even if you don't understand. Even if you think, oh my gosh, this person should be through this already. It's understanding without judgment. Someone is experiencing a change in their life, and how you would handle it may not be how they handle it. Grief, for one. Grief is different for every single person that's out there. Some, in and out of grief, they've got the sadness, they carry it with them. Others totally fall apart. You can't tell someone how to grieve. You can just let them know, I will be here by your side and walk through it with you. And if you need my help, let me know. And I will try not to give you my opinion unless you ask for it. I'm going to meet you where you are. And when Spirit came through and said that, here's this woman whose mother has dementia. And it's got to be one of the most heartbreaking things to go through. I've never had that, praise God. But I have a lot of clients who have dealt with it. And I can't imagine a relative of mine who I am close to not knowing who I am. But I have to take the me out of it. And I have to meet them where they are. So how great would it be? Well, not how great. How interesting would it be if you had a conversation with your mom or with your dad who was navigating dementia, and they were telling you all the good things about you, about things that they remember, like they thought that they were telling a friend or a stranger. It's making the best out of situations that are not that great. It's meeting, like I said, I keep rolling that around in my head. meet her where she is. Meet her where she is. It's so fascinating to me to be present with someone in a difficult time, showing them the acceptance of the changes that they're going through, but standing there in non-judgment and helping them without really helping them, just being there for them, holding them up when they need held up. So that's what happens with me when I don't have a whole lot of notes. It's just that wandering. What is the best way for me to navigate where I am right now? I mean, y'all know I'm here in Bel Air, Maryland. It's cold outside. I don't navigate cold very well. It's the beginning of the year, so I've got all these things that I need to plan for the year. But I need to look at them one at a time. Where am I at right now? You know what? And it was strange because this morning I was just like, I am not going live today. I'm just not. I don't have all my thoughts together. I don't have my whole long Tuesday talks in the order that I want. But then I thought, you know what? I'm talking about meeting people where they are. So I'm inviting you in to be where I am. Kind of navigating this statement around in your head. To meet people where they are, but to also meet yourself where you're at. To realize there are more good things about you than there are bad things. So it is concentrating on the good things. Start from scratch. Here's where I am. Here's where I began. Instead of, look at all I lost. I have to start all over again. Does that make sense? Yeah. Hold on. Just looking over my notes and seeing if I forgot something. No, that's pretty much what I had to say today. 15 whole minutes. But I just feel like it's important. And I would love to hear your comments about that statement. Email me, connectingtospiritwithstacy@gmail.com. But what does that statement mean to you? Meet me where I am. There's that old movie, Meet Me in St. Louis, that popped up. But I was looking at different things that talked about meeting someone where they were, or meeting yourself. It's almost like a reintroduction to yourself. Hello, me, where you been? Do you ever feel like you've been gone for a little while and then you came back? Either you were going through some type of depression or anxiety or something. Like when Mom passed, I was numb. I don't even remember a lot of it because everything just kind of went by so quickly. And there were a few people who met me where I was at in my head, and then there were those who didn't, and that's fine. But I'm just calling to your attention to navigate your own emotions, to recognize those emotions, put a name on those emotions, and move forward from there. You can't drive somewhere without getting in a vehicle, and you can't get in a vehicle and drive without a key. And even if you have the key and you have the vehicle, if you don't have any gas, you can't go anywhere. So how are you going to navigate? What's the vehicle that you're going to use? What's the energy, the gas that you're going to use to drive yourself to where you need to be? Think about the good, think about where you're at, and think about where you're going. And then when you're helping others, just stand beside them and hold their hand. And just say, I will meet you where you are. How can I help? All right, guys. This is Evidential Medium Stacy Needenthal. This is Tuesday Talks at 10:30. Hey, tonight on Bold Brave Media, Denise and I are going to go live, and we're going to talk about things that you can do towards the end of life for someone that can help you navigate that. So you want to tune in to Bold Brave Media tonight at 8 o'clock. I'll be streaming it live on my Facebook as well. It's also on YouTube and Spotify under Connecting to Spirit. But come and check us out. We'll have more to talk about tonight. So I hope you all have a great and wonderful day. Stay warm. And I will talk to you next Tuesday with a much longer Tuesday Talks. All right, guys. Live the life you live. Live the life you love and love the life you live. I will talk to you next week. Peace out.